What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and we're going to keep going with Power Week. And today we're going to discuss the two-parter that introduced us to the White Ranger, White Light, starring Austin St. John, Twee Train, David Yost, Amy Jo Johnson, Walter Jones, Jason David Frank, Paul Schreier, Jason Narvey, Richard Janelle, and David Fielding. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another installment of Renegades Reviews, another special installment as we keep going through Power Week here on the channel as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the Day of the Dumpster, which aired 30 years ago on Monday, the 28th of August. But we're not here to talk about that today. We've already talked about that initial episode. We've talked about Green with Evil that introduced arguably the greatest Ranger of all time to the saga, Tommy Oliver. And now we're going to talk about the episode that contained his metamorphosis from the Green Ranger to the White Ranger. Two-parter that was entitled White Light. And our two-parter begins at the Angel Grove Youth Center, where Kimberly tells Billy and Trini that Tommy has written her a letter that says that he will be coming home at the end of the week. So the Rangers decide that a surprise party is in order for him. Meanwhile, Alpha 5 and Zordon embark on a secret mission and shut down the command center. This change in energy alerts Lord Zed in the Lunar Palace on the moon, and he decides that now is the time to destroy the Power Rangers. So he decides to alter the Sentinel statue in Angel Grove Park with his magic. Once matured, the statue will transform into his strongest monster yet, the Scarlet Sentinel. Back in Angel Grove, Bulk and Skull continue their never-ending quest to find out the identity of the Power Rangers. When a meteor crash lands on Earth, they find the dumpster that Lord Zed imprisoned Rita Repulsa in, and they take it to Mr. Skulovich's workshop at Skull's house. They attempt to then open the dumpster as they assume that it contains the secrets of the Power Rangers. Meanwhile, Zach, Kimberly, and Trini discover that the Sentinel statue is covered in foul-smelling slime, and they attempt to contact Zordon, but with no response. Billy and Jason, after investigating the spot where Rita's dumpster used to be, teleport in order to help investigate the statue themselves, just as Zed sends his Z-Putties to attack and distract them. The teens make quick work of the clay soldiers and then attempt to contact Zordon once again, but still there is no response. Sensing that something is wrong, the Rangers teleport to the command center, failing to notice that the Sentinel statue has suddenly grown a porcelain mask on the back side of the statue. Meanwhile, Tommy is just finishing a swim in a lake at a remote location, and as he dries himself off, he is suddenly teleported. Back in Angel Grove, the Rangers arrive at the command center where they find Zordon and Alpha gone, and the place completely dark. Billy discovers a disc that records the recent activity of the command center, but before he can fully decipher the recent recorded binary code, Zed brings his monster to life and it attacks the city. The Rangers morph and teleport to stop Nimrod, but they are easily overpowered. Zed wastes no time in making his monster grow, and the Rangers summon the Thunder Megazord. However, Nimrod summons his minions, AC and DC, and all three blast the Megazord, severely damaging it. Billy then heads back to the command center in order to see if he can find out what happened, and he manages to open the hidden door of white light, which, after a moment of free falling, leads him to a room where he hears the voices of Alpha 5 and Zordon. He looks through a grate into a lower room and is amazed to see them in the process of creating a brand new Power Ranger. Billy hurries back to his lab where the other Rangers have returned to regroup after Nimrod has seriously damaged the Thunder Megazord, and he relays his findings to his friends, who act with initial disbelief. The group asks Billy if he is certain that it's a new Ranger and if he knows who it is. Billy confirms that he is positive that it is a new Ranger, but he doesn't have any more information. Kimberly begins to mope about Tommy and says that he should have been the one to be selected to be this brand new Ranger. Zach and Trini begin to agree with her, however, Jason trusts that Zordon and Alpha have their reasons. Billy agrees, reminding them that Lord Zed has been proven to be far more powerful than Rita Repulsa, and the team needs a new Ranger, no matter who it is. Meanwhile, Bulk and Skull have tried everything they can to open Rita's dumpster, but nothing has seemed to work. So Skull suggests that they see Ernie in order to find a way to open it. When they leave, Rita struggles to open her dumpster herself, but she is unable to. Back at the command center, Alpha and Zordon restore full power to the systems and summon the Rangers. Before heading there, the Rangers agree that they need to respect Zordon's judgment no matter what. Once they arrive, Zordon announces that the Rangers are about to meet the newest member of their team. He tells them that since the Green Ranger's powers were completely destroyed, he was convinced that a new Ranger was needed. A candidate was selected, and now it's time for the five to meet the White Ranger. The White Ranger descends from the sky, landing in front of the team. Zordon then asks the White Ranger to reveal his identity, and the mysterious newcomer removes his helmet, surprising everyone. Billy smiles, and Kimberly faints on the spot as the White Ranger is revealed to be none other than Tommy. Tommy then gently wakes Kimberly up, and she is more than happy to see him, and they hug. Zordon apologizes to the other Rangers for being so secretive, but he and Alpha had to ensure that Lord Zed did not interfere. Kimberly thought that Tommy lost his powers for good, but Alpha corrects her and states that it was the Green Ranger who lost his powers for good. Zordon then tells everyone that Tommy has proven himself with courage and strength, and had made him the obvious choice to take on the new powers which have been created by light and goodness, and they can never be taken away by evil magic the way that the Green Rangers were. Zordon then presents Tommy with a brand new Zord, the White Tiger Zord, and they make a new white saber that he can use to operate it named Saba, which has the ability to talk. He also reveals that Tommy is the new leader of the team, replacing Jason, the Red Ranger, as the leader. Meanwhile, Bulk and Skull return to the Skullovich workshop with a giant can opener, and they use it to attempt to open the dumpster. While at the command center, the Rangers are alerted to Nimrod's next attack, as well as Bulk and Skull's attempt to free Rita. The Rangers must split up in order to repair the Zords, secure Rita's dumpster, and battle Nimrod all at the same time. Billy and Trini are sent to repair the Zords, while Zach, Jason, and Kimberly are given the task of securing the dumpster. As for Tommy, he is sent into battle to face Nimrod until the others are able to aid him in defeating the Scarlet Sentinel. The Rangers morph and teleport to their assigned locations. Jason, Zach, and Kimberly must battle putties before they can reach Bulk and Skull and steal the dumpster from them, while Tommy, after a brief argument with Saba, sends in the White Tiger Zord for the first time against Nimrod. It converts into warrior mode and battles the monster. Tommy almost wins until Nimrod summons AC and DC once again, and the threesome triangulate their attacks and shut the new Zord down. Fortunately, Billy and Trini have just finished repairing the Thunder Zords, so Jason summons the Red Dragon Thunder Zord in order to aid Tommy. Tommy brings his Tiger Zord back online, and the Red Dragon Thunder Zord leaps onto Tiger Zord Tiger Mode's back, riding it into battle. After it leaps off the Tiger Zord's back, Tommy reinitiates the Tiger Zord Warrior mode, and the Thunder Zord Assault Team is summoned. The White Tiger Zord then joins with the Assault Team Zords to become the Mega Tiger Zord, who quickly disposes of Nimrod and his minions. The Rangers then head for the Skulovich workshop, and they put Rita, who has just escaped from her prison and scared Bulk and Skull into unconsciousness, back into her dumpster and send her back into the deep regions of space. Afterward, at the Angel Grove Youth Center, the Rangers, as well as others, celebrate Tommy's return to Angel Grove with the planned surprise party. But as Jason remarks to Tommy, I think that your surprise was more of a surprise than our surprise. During the celebration, Richie, one of the gang's friends, shows off his karate trophy, and the Rangers convince him to show them one of his moves. He ends up kicking a cake that was made for Tommy out of Ernie's hands, and it lands on Bulk and Skull. Tommy remarks that it's good to see that some things never change as the White Light two-part episode arc comes to its close. I remember watching the White Light arc as it aired and kind of being about as upset as the rest of the team when we realized that a new Ranger is being created, but there's no Tommy. It's not Tommy. And just thinking, man, why couldn't he get the powers? And then the joy and the elation when the White Ranger pops off his helmet for the first time to reveal that it is actually Tommy. I always enjoyed the White Ranger, but I never enjoyed him to the extent that I enjoyed the Green Ranger. And I think that's because of the duality within the Green Ranger. The White Ranger is born out of light and goodness. So he's a good guy till the end. The Green Ranger always had that duality, being born out of the darkness and evil, but fighting the good fight. You can almost kind of look at the Green Ranger like you do Lawrence Talbot, the Wolfman. You know, he's got this curse inside of him, and he knows that he can turn into this evil creature, but he just wants to get rid of it. He wants to do good. He wants to be normal. Tommy is the Green Ranger, having originally had the evil inside of him and being controlled by Rita, always kind of wondered if that would happen again. So he's always fighting the good fight to try to be better than what he was when he was created. So it creates this great juxtaposition when it comes down to the Green Ranger. Whereas the White Ranger, you don't really get that. The White Ranger, though, is cool. He's calm. He's the leader of the club. He is that traditional hero. You know, the white knight that rides in on the steed to save the girl. That's the White Ranger. And there's some pros and cons to that. You don't want to be thought of as too much of a goody-goody. But at least we know that we can always trust the White Ranger when in the back of everybody's mind, you know there was that question, can we truly trust the Green Ranger? I always thought that Saba was cool, but you can't beat the Dragon Dagger. Same thing with the Tiger Zord. I thought the Tiger Zord was cool, but you just can't beat the Dragon Zord. Personal thoughts. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments and let me know. I always enjoyed, like I said, the White Light Saga, but for me, it just doesn't hold a candle, if you will, to Green with Evil. So when it comes to my rating of White Light, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow as we wrap up Power Week right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel as we step out of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and into Power Rangers Wild Force to discuss Forever Red, starring Austin St. John, Jason David Frank, Sean C.W. Johnson, Selwyn Ward, Danny Slavin, Christopher Kamen Lee, Jason Font, Daniel Southworth, and Ricardo Medina Jr. You don't want to miss out on that right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel as we wrap up Power Week and discuss the 10th anniversary episode of the franchise from Power Rangers Wild Force Forever Red. Again, you don't want to miss any of it, so make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of the Power Rangers, fans of Austin St. John, Jason David Frank, David Yost, Walter Jones, Amy Jo Johnson, Twee Train, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video. Shared with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up and YouTube's algorithms now that we're a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again for everybody out there who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And until we wrap up Power Week with Forever Red, let the power protect you.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.